the journey in life that really makes you happy.
His clients love him, we love him, and he's helped so many family and businesses protect, preserve their wealth.
Financial literacy and the ability to manage personal finances is not taught very well outside of in the classroom.
I want to continue what I'm doing. I enjoy what I'm doing. Glad to be one of the honorees at the 2016 Diversity in Business Awards from Long Island Business News. It's very exciting to be recognized in this way. First of all, there is happiness that, all these years of putting in an effort, building a business from ground up has been recognized.
And he has built a fabulous clientele. So we're very fortunate to have Paresh as a valued colleague of our firm.
If the cause or the purpose which is driving you forward in this journey is critical, then the whole journey becomes important, and every stage becomes a satisfying element in the whole process. And that is what I think is important in terms of attaining happiness. Professional satisfaction comes from the journey.
It's not always money with him. Money comes and money goes, and that's not always his objective.
God has given me this unique opportunity, and I'm in a profession where for myself, I am, it's like, thank God it's Monday. That's the experience that I have. So a lot of people cannot find or cannot pursue their elements of happiness because of money worries. So if I can sit down with some of these people and take those money worries off the table, I can maybe be an element in them finding so that they can pursue their paths to find their own happiness.
And this recognition by Long Island Business News is more like I look at it more as a way in which as a door opener towards serving more people.
We're very fortunate to have Paresh Shah as one of our valued associates. From the day he came across the ocean and joined our firm, he's been a shining star and helped lift our professionalism across the board.
That it is the journey in life that really makes you happy.
I am very happy to come over here to have participated in this event. And for Paresh, what shall I tell you? He is really a very intelligent and very good boy from the very beginning, from his childhood.
Time when I was in high school and in 11th grade, and I remember the time we were students preparing to get admitted to engineering college in India. We needed some extra help, coaching in order to prepare for these entrance examinations. I approached my parents, and straight away they said okay, and I could take all the necessary help. And as I was discussing with some of my friends, they could not take this help because their parents could not afford to pay the cost of this additional expenses. So that was the first time kind of it hit me in a stark way that how much the difference can make in terms of preparing for examinations which would get you into your choice of career and therefore would help you in preparation for life for the future.
Hi, I'm Shamik, Paresh's son, and something that I think my dad really shows in his work and in his life is his ability to analyze and break everything down, and in doing that he's able to determine the best course of action in every possible situation, be it in home life or in business life, and through that he's able to deliver the best value to his clients, and that's why I think he's been so successful.
The whole process of finding the people who need your help, convincing them or working with them to see that they take your services, and finally to deliver that solution. the whole package becomes an experience which is fraught with satisfaction.
My name is Kathy Dees, and I am actually the assistant to Paresh. I work on ensuring that he is compliant in almost everything that happens. What I want to say is that he's passionate about his profession and his work, and that shows through in his service to his clients. We, as a team, try to make sure that we deliver white glove service, and oftentimes that is at the cost of other concerns he has for the agency. I enjoy working with him even when he's grumpy.
In my own journey, the satisfaction comes from the fact that I meet someone, find that there is a challenge that they are facing financially, and with the processes that we work with, they are able to ease those financial pressures in their life. That's just satisfying, and that's just fun to do.
I just feel that someone recognizing you means it's a kind of an authentication that you're doing good work, and if it is meant with the intention to serve people, then I think that it just encourages me to go out and do it more. That is the most important thing.
I essentially grew up in a business family, and my father and his brother, they established a pharmaceutical manufacturing business together in the year 1977, and initially they did not do very well. My father was one of the financing partners, and one of my uncles was the managing partner of that business. Then they started doing very well from mid 80s till early 90s, and early 90s they decided to expand that business, and when they decided to expand, a lot of the cash flow got sucked into the expansion. Now unfortunately for my mother and me, at that time in 1992 I lost my dad, and there was no real business succession planning or things like that put into place at that time for the family. Not that anyone had any bad intentions within the family, but the very fact that the cash flow was dried out because of the expansion process meant that me and my mother could not get any cash flow from the business at that time. Fortunately for me, my dad had purchased a series of life insurance contracts, and those came available to me and my mother just at the time when we needed the liquidity to tide over those years. And what I was able to do was use that money to get some secure income for my mother and myself, and that permitted me to continue my entrepreneurial career in building myself in the world of finance. Now, I would not have got that opportunity had my dad not done the necessary planning on the personal side. So if the family had thought through and someone had approached my dad and talked to him about doing that planning on the business side also, my dad would definitely have done it. Somebody had approached my dad and told him to do the planning on the personal side, and he did it. So that just brings me to the importance that as a financial planner, I feel that it is important for me to reach out to people and to explain to them how some of these things work, so that they are able to take advantage and put them into place for their family.
He is actually 5.5 years younger to me, but since I've lost my father, he is like a elder brother and a fatherly figure to me, and I'm blessed to have him around.
When that life insurance policy check came to me and my mother, and it got deposited in the bank, that sense and then that sense of security that money provided, that I do not think numbers can give you that experience. That is where I think the artistry of the whole the question that you talk about, artistry in financial planning, comes in. That means sitting down as an advisor with a family to get to understand their needs, and then to come forth with these solutions which will in future help them.
We are blessed to have Paresh in our family. He's been very helpful and very committed to his family, and besides working very hard, progressing financially and being the best. He is the best brother around. And I congratulate him on this day for all the success over the years.
The Million Dollar Roundtable is a very prestigious organization that was established years ago. And at that time, when it was established in the early part of this century, to have sold $1 million of face amount of life insurance, it's nothing to do with the premium, but the amount of protection that you could get for different families. That means you sold $50,000 life insurance, and that's how it started. But today it has grown to a level where it is a group of life insurance and financial planning industry who get together, and you have to have attained two things. Not only do you have to attain a certain financial qualification, but you also have to have a clean ethics record. And I remember in 2007 was the first year when in the beginning of the year I was struggling. Until then I had not done very well, but at the later half of the year I was able to get work done with some business owners and was able to qualify for the first time for this prestigious institute. Ever since that, I've qualified every year for this particular institution. And for me, the importance is, again, as I said, all these rewards and qualification, it has permitted two things. First of all, there's a sense of that I'm serving so many families, and that I am part of a group of people who are in the top echelon of the business in terms of the number of people that they serve, or in terms of how well they are doing it with the families that they are serving. So that was an important part. But second, it also puts me in this group of people where I can exchange ideas on how to serve people more. A set of very dedicated and committed people whom I find meet time and again, just so that we can learn newer ways to do better for other people. That's what this organization has meant for me in the last several years.
He's very diligent and hardworking and focused. When he wants to achieve a particular thing, he will put in his best to achieve it.
I was already doing some work in the area of some stocks, especially in my field of chemical stocks, and I was telling my friends what they should do, and they in turn told me that, well, if you're looking for an alternate career, why don't you go deeper in this area and start guiding us on a professional and make some money out of it. And that kind of led me to this transition where I thought that I would do this kind of work for people and move to the area of stockbroking and investment advising. But I think that I think for me personally, the experiences of money that I had, especially after my dad passed away, make me feel that this was the path I needed to follow.
My name is Andrea Parness. I'm a CPA, and I met Paresh when we both were members of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business course. We met last March, and I'm thrilled that he was in my growth group and in my cohort. I'm thrilled that he's been honored today. I'm here because he's being honored by Long Island Business News, and I think it's a very just honor. We were so happy in my firm. I have a CPA firm, and many times our clients need help with their investments, with the review of their portfolio, with structuring things differently. And I was really thrilled this year to be able to have someone who I respected and trusted to refer my clients to.
The business owner, the business is like their own baby. So they grow it, and not only that, the income that they generate, that it is their source of income, but it is also mostly the largest source of their wealth. So what we found is that they reinvest in it, they grow it, they nurture it. But then there comes a point when they have to leave the business, and at that point they want to exchange maximum personal wealth for business and maximum family wealth for the business. So the reasons for leaving a business could be voluntary or as well as involuntary. Voluntary things could be like retirement, or you sell off the business, or you get acquired, those kind of things. And involuntary could be death, disability, lawsuits. These are some of the reasons where involuntarily a person has to leave the business. having seen my own family situation and my own life, I feel that if a business owner thinks through all these challenges carefully and puts together a plan in advance, then they should be able to take care of two important things. One is that if it's involuntary, then also the family can continue to get income and get the wealth that the business owner created in his business to them after he passes away. And the second is that in case he is available to do it voluntarily, that means he decides to retire or decides to sell, in both those situations he should be able to extract maximum value for the effort that he has created in nurturing this baby. And if not planned properly, I'm seeing time and time again that neither of these two things happen. Even for those who are managing their own business and do not have calamities like death, disability or lawsuit, they come upon a point when suddenly they want to retire or they want to sell their business and they are not getting the best value just because they did not take some simple processes that they could have put into place. So for me, business succession planning is a very critical area where business owners do not have enough knowledge, therefore they are not taking the necessary action.
I always have great feedback from anyone who I do recommend Paresh and his team to, because he is so honorable and such a great guy. He's a great friend. He's a wonderful person. But for me, it's really wonderful to be able to have somebody that I can trust to send my people to and know that they're going to be taken care of the way I would take care of them if this was something that I was able to do for them. So I'm really grateful to have Paresh and his firm in my life. Thank you.
We need to have an overall view and an overall picture of what a person's specific individual needs or planning needs are. Each person, even two people who are in the identical family situation, but based on their nature, they may have different financial planning needs or processes that they need to follow. So I think that is the misconception, that you can just go out there and get a set of things done and that would take care of things. I think the bigger thing is that every individual tailoring of plans is a very important part of the whole process that needs to be done for everybody.
Hi, my name is Balram Kakkar. I'm an attorney in the city. I have worked with Paresh for now over 2 years, and I'm really impressed with his attention to detail and his knowledge. He knows his financial industry very well. And besides the knowledge, I think to be successful in any business, you have to care about people. You have to care about your clients. And I've seen that. You meet a lot of financial planners who try to sell you a product and then move on. But Pareshji actually spends the time, makes the effort to really know the needs of his clients, and then follows up and follows up and follows up. In any business, following up is so important. If something new comes in, he is like an encyclopedia. He has memory of his clients' needs, their information at the top of his head, and he always follows up and takes care of his clients. He has referred me a ton of business, and we have done a lot of seminars together. And what amazes me is his attention to detail. When he puts a seminar together, he actually makes detailed lists of individuals that every participant should meet by the end of the night. And that requires a lot of patience and a lot of time both him and his lovely wife put in to do this. So it's always a pleasure to make a presentation with him because of that time and detail that he puts in. And he always refers business out. Sometimes I feel guilty that I don't give him back as much as he gives back to us. But I guess in any business, it's generally the giver's gain. So I've learned that from him. First you give, and then at some point, don't expect. But the natural, logical thing is that when you give, everything comes back to you. So he has that philosophy in business, and that's why he's been successful. And finally, it's not always money with him. Money comes and money goes, and that's not always his objective. His objective really is to care for his clients. And at some point down the road, success may or may not come, but and that's the most important business philosophy you can have to be successful in any business, and that's why I really love him. He's amazing, and I enjoy doing business with him. Lots of luck to him, and congratulations on this well-deserved reward.
Being creative is very important, but you should not be aggressive. And by aggressive, I mean that the way the U.S. government permits us to do things, there are lots of different ways in which a person can take advantage of the law and put into place financial planning strategies for themselves so that they can get good results at the end and fulfill their planning. But you cannot be aggressive. That means you should not push those laws to the limit so that you're doing something which is questionable legally. So I think yes, being creative is very important because each person needs something specific, and you need to understand them, you need to understand what's available, and you need to gel the two of them.
I'm Priyanka Kakkar. This is a great honor for the entire Long Island Indian community that Paresh ji is being honored for such a recognition. And Paresh ji is a very dedicated man. He's a dedicated businessman and a father and a husband, and it's great honor to know him and be affiliated with him. He has definitely brought professional his professional team together, and definitely an honorable man, and great honor to have known him. And congratulations to Paresh ji and to Shimal ji for such success.
Both my parents were always of the opinion that we have to, in order to attain something, you have to work very hard. That was the first thing. There was always that sense that in the family that we should be doing things to help others. And finally, there is a sense of spirituality which my mother has, which kind of makes her feel that end of the day, after all the efforts that you've put inside, you have to accept the destiny and the willingness of what the Supreme Power wants out of you or wants to deliver to you. So hard work, spirituality, and a sense of dedication to others, those are some of the things that my mother has given me. She has probably sacrificed the most because at an age when I migrated here with my wife and my son, we were there together till that time. So she kind of permitted that separation physically in order for me to advance in my career, and I think that's a big sacrifice that she made. So I think the thing that if she can let go in order for others to be able to attain and serve others and live their life in own way, that itself kind of teaches me things about how I should be approaching my life. About my wife Shimal, and I think from her the biggest lesson that I learned from her is the patience. I mean, I essentially am a person who wants to, the engineering in me always tells me that if you do A and you do B, then the result should be C. But sometimes there is a time lag and a time frame in between. If you remember, we talked about the creativity parts earlier, and that there is not just the element of the math to something. There is an element of time and development, and the patience to create this business. She's been a great supporter with me and teaches me those lessons every day. In fact, I'm blessed that she is part of my practice. She joined the practice 5 years ago. With all her creativity and experience, she's led the marketing efforts in our practice and taken a lot off my plate. So I think it's good to have a team in place in that way, and good to have people around you who support you in the ventures that you do. Again, the life's experiences and the financial planning experiences, they led me to believe that two opportunities, if given to most families in terms of peace of mind, they can get the opportunity to advance. The first, of course, is in terms of healthcare. Healthcare costs world over, whether it be in the US or in the third world, are going up. And the challenges of healthcare are keeping people down. So when you're not of good health and you're not able to afford to get yourself to good active health, then that is something that is going to prevent you from taking advantage of opportunities in life. And the second thing is, of course, in terms of education. We have had the good fortune to be able to support a child through his engineering education. Currently, we are supporting someone through becoming an architect. We have, there is in Gujarat, there is a place where there is a deaf mute school where we've been able to contribute. There's another school which helps the blind children, and we've been able to financially help that school as well. Another very surprising place where I think we found an opportunity to help, and there are children in India especially who are able to be technically very good, but because their communication skills in English are weak, they are not able to attain high positions, whether it be India or after migrating to some other countries. And so in one of the special centers in a city called Rajkot, they evolved a project where they would teach students going all the way from high school till those who attained professional degrees to learn English as a spoken language, and they wanted to create a lab for that. So Shimul and I were able to participate in the development of that project. So these are some of the initiatives that we've been able to take, and I just feel blessed that we are able to help students get that one opportunity to do better. First of all, it feels very good that all the efforts that we have put in over the last several years to bring the business to this level is being recognized by the community, and especially by Long Island Business News. If you are being recognized, that means you're doing something that is helping people. So how can you do this so for more families can be helped, more people can be helped?
With lots of good wishes for continued success. Thanking you for being with us. This is Ashok Vyas.